Y'all, it's entirely possible that we could never find out who actually shot Charlie Kirk. Because what we do know is that the shooter was not in the crowd, but probably on the top of one of the buildings at least 200 yards away. And that shot seemed like it came from somebody who absolutely knew what they were doing. I don't think it was an amateur. And it's entirely possible that there weren't that many people in the building that he shot from, so they might not have even known that anything was happening. So the guy makes his shot, people are scattering, there's all kinds of confusion going on, and during that confusion, he just slips out of the building. And sure, there might have been some cameras on campus, but if this guy was a professional, he probably knew where they were. And if this dude's not caught, what do you think that's going to do to the rhetoric of all the other right-wing talking heads out there? Do you think they might think twice about saying some of the horrible shit that Charlie Kirk used to say? I mean, it would have to be somewhat nerve-wracking knowing that that guy is still out there and could be listening to what they are saying at that moment. Now, I am just spitballing here. I am not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I'm just trying to come up with possible scenarios. It's altogether possible that this person just was looking for somebody who was high profile to take out so that they could make a name for themselves, and it wouldn't matter what side of the political spectrum that they were on. Now, I went live today, which is something I hardly ever do, but I had a bunch of people in the comments say that they thought that this could be a false flag operation because they were going to try and start a civil war. I don't find that scenario that likely because both sides of the political spectrum are kind of condemning this, so that has a huge potential for backlash. I had other people say that the administration had it done so that they can impose martial law, and I don't think that they would do that over one guy. I just don't see that happening. I think that this was most likely a single shooter that had a motive that we may or may not ever learn. Because after the Trump-Iramaxi situation in Pennsylvania, political violence didn't pick up right after that. And if it was going to, you'd think that it would happen right after something like that happened. But I would like to remind everybody that Charlie Kirk himself would say that his death was worth it. He said that these shootings are a small price to pay to keep our Second Amendment right. So when it comes to his death, we should probably just respect his thoughts on that matter. Oh, and speaking of his wishes, he couldn't stand the word empathy. He thought it was a made-up New Age term, and it just does a lot of damage. So if you want to pay your respects to Charlie, don't send any empathy his way. He would hate that.